Hey everybody, welcome back to 100 Days of SEO. This is our very first Workshop Wednesday, so I'm extremely excited. If you are new here, my name is Brendan Hufford. I'm the founder of SEO for the Rest of Us and also 100 Days of SEO. I'm also the SEO director at Click Studios, an amazing agency here in Chicago. I'm also a former teacher. I'm leveraging everything I know about teaching to just bring you the best SEO content possible, help you understand and demystify SEO. Today, we are going to do a Workshop Wednesday breakdown of mastermindjam.com. I'm going to leave it kind of free flowing here. You're going to see me jump back and forth between other tabs and the slide deck. The goal is not to be a lecture or a presentation, but I want you to see how I think about all of this. And if I were to really workshop Mastermind Jam, which I love this logo as well. It's like an elephant, but it's also the MMJ. It's cool. I don't know. But if I were to really workshop this, if Mastermind Jam was a client of mine, or if I worked for or with Mastermind Jam, what would I do? Where would I start? Obviously, this is brought to you by Ahrefs. They're a sponsor of 100 Days of SEO. They're also the tool that I use, so I'll be using Ahrefs throughout all of this. While I do think you can do a lot of these things without Ahrefs, which I'll actually show you how to do, we will be using it quite a bit, so you'll have those insights as well. I think if you are a new SaaS company, so a little bit of background on Mastermind Jam here in a second, but if you're a SaaS company like Mastermind Jam, I would highly recommend checking out Ahrefs. Their free trial, or their trial, is $7 for 7 days. You can get a lot out of that, and then I guarantee you'll want to sign up. And I don't just say that again because they're a sponsor, but simply because it's what I use in my client work and in my own work. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at Mastermind Jam. They are an online mastermind group platform. They have a really incredible backend. They have a really incredible kind of, but when I say backend, I mean ways for mastermind groups to interact beyond just Skype or whatever else, or even in person, ways to take notes. I don't know. It's really cool. I won't belabor it, but what they're doing is really interesting. The founder, Ken Wallace, is just fully transparent, a good friend of mine. So I'm excited to really dive in on this. I'll probably not tell him anything he doesn't know, but I think it'll be pretty cool. So let's take a look at Mastermind Jam. So right now, if I go to the homepage, I can see they have a blog, they have an about. I can kind of apply when it reopens and things like that. I have some guides here at the bottom. Great. Scroll back up, blog about, just kind of looking at their about page. And obviously this is a site that I've been on before. Does a lot of things right, which is fantastic. There's Ken. And just kind of looking back through like a lot of things are right with this website. But the first thing I want to do is kind of look at their SEO. So I hop over here into Ahrefs. I'm looking at, all right, cool. They rank for 75 keywords, referring domains. The first thing I like to do is check out just where they're at, like what's been going on. Kind of looking at here, some ups and downs, but what I'm really concerned about is the page 1 keywords. So really not a lot of rankings. And they fluctuate quite a bit. So 2 years ago, there was 15 total page 1 keywords, and then it was none in the top 3 and kind of back and forth. Really doesn't seem to be anything consistent. It's up and down. This shows me that there hasn't been a really dedicated effort in terms of SEO, which is totally fine. I can see competitors here, Mastermind Hunt, masterminds.org, Accountability, Success Alliance, that's one that we'll be looking at. Kick-Ass Masterminds is another one that we'll be looking at. Cool, so this kind of makes sense. I also love the Ahrefs top pages, because here's what I can see. We focus a lot in SEO, or people like to focus a lot on keywords, and I think that's a mistake. We want to focus on topics. So I can see some blog articles here. Really good blog articles are going to rank for thousands of keywords. So I don't just want to look at this top keyword. I also want to look at all of these keywords in here, and it looks like right now Google thinks that like this is his questions to screen mastermind group members. Google thinks this is a page about Facebook group screening questions in examples, which isn't really the focus of the article. And then questions when joining a mastermind group, you can see like we're on page 10 for these things. So it's pretty much irrelevant. The homepage, though, does rank for some significant things. It looks like it kind of dances on the first and second page for Mastermind Group, which is pretty significant. Then the first page for Business Mastermind. Then the first page for Mastermind Groups Near Me, which is weird because it's an online platform. But Business Mastermind Group, they do fairly well. And I think that does bring some organic traffic and does convert into more applications and then people joining. Let's take a look at the competitors. So when I hop over here, I look at Vistage. In Ahrefs, same, like way more keywords, way bigger website, DR 75 out of 100, way more significant. You can see even here the sheer number of keywords and the volume of what they're ranking for is significant. It's going to be extremely difficult to outrank Vistage if we were to compete head to head. Looking at the top pages, we can see like a lot of this is about CEO executive coaching, things like that. So I'm not super concerned. I understand how they're related. Over here, Entrepreneurs Organization, again, extremely authoritative website, tons of keywords, almost 4,000 referring domains. This is, 3,500 referring domains. Continued success. Looks like they got hurt a little bit by the update on some secondary keywords, but overall, just pretty steady success. Much bigger, much more popular website in terms of search than Mastermind Jam. Looking in here for a little bit of overlap, I don't see a lot about Mastermind. One of the things I love about this is about Ahrefs is I can type in keywords here and just kind of filter down by that and see. So it doesn't look like anything super significant. If I go to organic keywords, I want to look for all of them. I'll type in Mastermind again, and I just want to see if there's any overlap. So Mastermind networking group, things like that. But we're in pages 8 through 10 and 11 here. So not super, I don't feel like there's a ton of overlap with the core of Mastermind Jam. So next we'll take a look at Success Alliance. All right, we're kind of getting a little bit more in the realm. So DR of 38, a little bit more in the realm of where Mastermind Jam is. All right, cool. Ups and downs telling me that they might not be pursuing SEO really actively, just because things keep falling off here and there. Again, like the major update in August, September probably hurt them. They dropped off quite a bit. That happens. Taking a look at their keywords, I want to take a look at, what is going to overlap with Mastermind Jam. So just simply putting Mastermind in there, we can see that, they're on the first page, they're number 4, and this is not their homepage that's ranking. This is a specific page. What is a Mastermind group? Ranks for all of these. And we'll see when we hop into top pages, this will be reflected, but they're on the first page for Mastermind. They're on the first page for Mastermind group. So this is a really strong piece of content. And what I'm curious about here with this, what is a mastermind? It looks like Ahrefs only has 7 links to that blog article. So what this tells me is that if over here, if Mastermind Jam were to have a similar DR, similar authority, there are 20. This website, Success Alliance, is a 38. And then only 7 referring domains, we would be playing in this realm as well. Being really successful, really ranking highly for Mastermind. So it gives me a lot of opportunity. Then finally looking over here at Kick-Ass Masterminds, actually below where Mastermind Jam is, but you can see they kind of have a steady rise of referring domains. When I hop over here into organic search, steady rise of keywords and things. Let's hop over here and just take a look at their top pages really quick before we jump back into the slides. So just looking in here, no referring domains on a lot of their pages and on a lot of their content. Doesn't look like they're really doing a lot with SEO. If I were to just judge by the URLs, it doesn't look like they're really paying a lot of attention to it. So hopping back over here, when we look at ranking factors, if I were to advise Mastermind Jam on some things, the ranking factors, if I were to break it down into 4 quadrants, it's really your website. Google wants a website that is aged and super popular and super fast. And then it's your content, and then it's your authority, which is primarily links. And there's everything else that I'm sure I'll get some hate in the comments at some point for 100 Days of SEO that I've said something that people disagree about, because we as SEOs, and this is in any industry, we love to bicker with each other on Twitter. This is a framework that I kind of laid out in the SEO for the Rest of Us course, but I want to kind of share publicly too. This is the AM SEO framework. So when I'm thinking about SEO, what am I doing? I'm looking at their intent. I'm looking at the asset that I'm going to create. I'm going to look at the medium of where I'm going to create it. And then once I've done that, once I've got the IM SEO framework, then I'm going to look at how to make it more relevant. Hint, that means links. So let's talk about for Mastermind Jam, like how do they win? What do they need to do? The first thing is they really need to start looking at search intent. When people are Googling for these phrases, what do they really want, right? Yes, mastermind, but like, what is mastermind? Mastermind here is nothing. If I were to rank number 1 for mastermind, this is a game. This is a Twitter account for it. Like Wikipedia says it's a board game. Ranking number 1 for Mastermind is not what I want. What I really want to start ranking number 1 for is Mastermind Group or Business Mastermind, which they already do really well for. But Mastermind Group, all of a sudden I see the intent changes, right? I can see Vistage is able to run ads against this because they're a really big executive coaching network. Wikipedia, now all of a sudden I see people also ask, this gives me a good idea to inform content. How do you structure a mastermind group? How much does a mastermind group cost? I know this is something that Mastermind Jam really pushes back against because although they charge, you're paying for the platform. A lot of people label group coaching as mastermind groups. That's false. And that's something that just goes on. But that's something you could rank for how much does a mastermind group cost, and then really put that Mastermind Jam could put that flag in the ground of like, the gathering of people doesn't cost anything and shouldn't cost anything. What you're paying for when you pay for a ClickFunnels mastermind with Russell Brunson, which I'm sure is extremely valuable. I love Russell, but what you're really paying for there is group coaching, not necessarily, it's not really a mastermind group. Mastermind groups meet for the mutual benefit of each other. But they could rank for this and then turn it, right? I know my friend Matt Giovanisi has a pool care website that does really, really well in search called Swim University, and he has articles about chemicals that he doesn't advise you use, but like the articles are like the truth about that, right? It'd be very easy for Mastermind Jam to create a piece of content around the truth about how much should a mastermind cost, and things like that, right? How often do mastermind groups meet? What is mastermind training? All of these things give us ideas, and we can see kind of in here that really people are just looking to be, when mastermind group, they want to be educated. They want to know how to create and run it, how to start and run it. We can see this again. What is a mastermind group? Definition and tutorials, 7 reasons to join, things like that. They even see some videos ranking. So Google really isn't sure, do you want to watch something? Do you want to read something? They're pretty sure you want to read. And they're pretty sure you just want to go to Wikipedia. Now, here's where we start to get into a little bit of the secret sauce. Really, what you need to do for SEO is start looking at levels of awareness. So at the top level, people are problem aware, and there's a lot of words on this slide, so I'm not going to read them all to you. But being problem aware, these are people, they know their problems, and if you want to help them, you have to show that you get their pain. So really, Mastermind Jam and Ken have to reverse engineer why do people join mastermind groups? What is the issue there that they're trying to deal with? And one of them I know personally is that they want to overcome a plateau in their business. They've gotten to a level of success. They've heard about mastermind groups, but maybe they haven't heard about mastermind groups yet. They need to grow their business. They don't know what to do. So 5 ways you can overcome a plateau in your business. Great. Now let's take them a level deeper. Now they're solution aware. They're aware solutions like Mastermind Jam exist, but I have to show them how your solution works. So if I have an article about like mastermind groups help these 5 founders 10x their businesses, and I feature 5 founders from Mastermind Jam who have grown their business. Obviously these numbers are arbitrary and made up, but I start to, feature success stories of members. Then when they're product aware, great. Let's write an article, a case study, Mastermind Jam feedback results in 50% growth year over year, or something like that. Now they're aware how Mastermind Jam is going to solve their pain. Now Mastermind Jam has to prove that they're the best option, that they're a better option than Kick-Ass Masterminds or Success Alliance or Vistage or whatever. We have to prove that we are the best option. And then finally, once they know that the solution's the best for them, you just have to know the deal. Like that's where we get into the application. That's the piece of content that we push people to. So in a product aware article, so in this case study article, the call to action is to apply now. In the solution aware article, we want to push them to a product aware article, not necessarily to apply now. And certainly 5 ways you can overcome a plateau in your business. I don't want them to apply. That's not where they're at. So these map to different results in search, but you need to think about it. You're building a content kind of business funnel. And this is something you're going to hear me talk about again here in a second, is the business side of things. We have to map SEO content to things that actually do stuff for your business. I want to run really quickly. How would Ken do this? How would Ken figure these things out? Obviously, Ken at Mastermind Jam has a pretty intimate knowledge of this, but really, how could you take it a step further? By doing topical research. I love my palm tree. Tropical, it's topical, whatever. Napoleon, don't be jealous. I've been doing topical research online all day, right? It's SEO jokes. They're so bad. So looking on Quora obviously is going to give you some really good copywriting, some really good things that you could use. This is something I just pulled here a second ago. What is a mastermind? Are there online mastermind groups? All of a sudden you get these really good, genuine pieces of phrasing and copy from other people. I know that Answer the Public gets a lot of hate and a lot of weird feedback, but it can be helpful for generating ideas. You can see on here things that are helpful, how mastermind groups work, why mastermind groups work, what are mastermind groups. Here's what I think is freaking fascinating is this joker is almost empty. This is the main result that they give you, and it should be chock full to the brim. And there's just not a ton of search volume around mastermind groups. But this is something that Mastermind Jam should, if they want to be successful long term, really has to own. They have to. They have to be the go-to resource for mastermind groups. It'll give them natural links as people write about it. They'll link back to them. It'll also get Ken more interviews on podcasts as people want to learn more about mastermind groups. They have to own this stuff in search. It is not generic. It is very specific. One thing that I thought was cool that Answer the Public did bring up is that people are looking for mastermind groups in every city around the country. And although Mastermind Jam is an online platform, I do think there could be a play here for them to have some sort of information on their website as far as mastermind groups in these cities. Like if they could rank number one for mastermind groups in Atlanta and, befriend a few of them, it might be easy to just say, hey, you guys have a mastermind group in Atlanta. Here's a list of like 10 of them that are meeting regularly. Hey, do you all just want to use the platform? Might make it easier for you. And things like that. And then they naturally are starting to bring in that traffic where people are like, oh, I'm looking for mastermind groups in Atlanta. None of these seem like a fit. Oh, shoot, why don't I just use Mastermind Jam? So people who are actively looking in their city, they want a mastermind group that's local. Maybe they don't know that they can have something. Maybe they don't know a solution like Mastermind Jam exists. So this is more problem aware. I know that I want a mastermind group. Maybe I need, and I would even argue solution aware. Maybe I don't know that I need to find one online. Other places to look that are really cool. I've got a couple cool items on here that are really helpful. I love the 3-star. This is the last one on here. The 3-star Amazon reviews. I was just looking through Mastermind Journal. They have no reviews. This is unhelpful. The Mastermind Group Blueprint had one that was really helpful. It said this is just general information. It said just let members talk about the business. It says right here, if you're completely clueless to never touch the business book, now you're trying to create a paid mastermind in which people pay you, this might be okay to send you off in the right direction. Otherwise, it is a waste of time. I was looking for how to structure a mastermind group. Boom. This person was so pissed that they bought this book and it did not tell them how to structure a mastermind group that they left a 1-star review. That really matters. So it tells us like structuring a mastermind group is something people really want to learn. There may not be a ton of volume around it, but it is something people are passionate about. And last, just mastermind dinners. Clearly I own this book, so it's pretty cool. It's not a bad book, but I do agree with this. There was more talk about what the author does than actually showing how to do the dinners. Again, people want to know how to do, and this is not necessarily, mastermind is kind of used oddly here, but they want to know how to do it. They want to know how to do it. We're looking for, and then when we're checking these things out, we're kind of looking for these painful emotions, right? I'm not going to read the list to you, but we want to try to pull these out because this tells us like really good content. These are things, this is something I learned from Amy Hoy and Alex Hillman as a part of the, I'm going to forget the name of the program. It's part of the 30 by 500 program, but even more specifically, this is part of Sales Safari. So really looking for those, doing that pain deep dive. Looking at these things, I could click on these and see like, hey, is this something, has Monica Morgan left other reviews? Has Moritz had left other reviews? Is this the only time they were so pissed that they left a 1-star review? They've never reviewed a book on Amazon before. This can be extremely helpful. This is also really good. The pain deep dive also pairs extremely well with looking on Quora and looking at responses in there. Now, here's what I think will be extremely helpful. So when I look at Mastermind Jam and I look at the blog, there's good content. This is good content. Mastermind groups are your secret weapon. What is a mastermind group? Great. Peer-driven business mastermind groups. That really is like, hey, here's what Mastermind Jam is. It's a little bit different than a guru-led business mastermind group. Which format is right for me? Helping people. And then look, it's going to put, brilliant job, Ken. You're pushing them to the next level of awareness, or at least through this content. And then 11 proven questions to ask before joining a mastermind group. So what is your definition? Just really making sure people are getting in the mastermind groups for the right reasons, things like that. There's a kind of cheat sheet here that they can unlock, which is awesome. Next steps, they're going to go into part 3. Got it. Which I already have open here in a new tab. But avoiding the common mistakes. So, now we're talking about screening new members or screening people for a new mastermind group. Here's some great questions to ask them. I get to the bottom, I get the cheat sheet, join a mastermind group. I can't even click this link here. And I'm not trying to criticize this actual blog post, but here's the thing. I just want you to ponder this. What if we did what Ahrefs did? Now, this is a SaaS company, right? Mastermind Jam is a SaaS company. Now, if you're listening on the podcast, this is going to be a little bit arbitrary, but do you see Mastermind Jam anywhere in this article? Any of these 3 articles, do you see a single screenshot of Mastermind Jam? No, I don't see anything. Now, I was just talking to, literally a couple minutes ago, I was talking to Tim Solo, who's the head of marketing at Ahrefs. And the analogy he and I landed on was your content, if you're a SaaS company, your content should be your demo. And the reason Ahrefs, and this is not true for, this doesn't necessarily work for everybody, but Ahrefs never interrupts their demo. They don't interrupt their content. You are here. I can open, let's be totally arbitrary. Let's open the top 3 in new tabs, and let's see how well they demo their product. So this is a beginner's guide to small business SEO. So I already see the first image is literally of their product. I'm going through before we get started. Cool, it's teaching you about Search Console, things like that. Logical website structures with some examples. That's really helpful. Boom. And as I keep going down, now I get into their site audit tool, some pro tips of using their tool. It's really like, hey, here's how you do it, and here's how our tool makes this super easy. I don't see any of that in the Mastermind Jam content. There's no like, here's what to do, here's how our tool makes it easy, right? When I look at the next article for Ahrefs, what do you think I'm going to find? As I scroll down, I'm sure that at some point we're going to get into like, hey, here's how to do all this stuff. Here's some really interesting things, but this comes from Ahrefs. Those are screenshots of Ahrefs. Oh, look, here we are again. Here's how to do. Sure, can I do this? Can I find super fans? Can I do broken pages? Can I do that without Ahrefs? Sure. There's other ways to do it, but this is super easy because I can see it right here. I absolutely love it. And then the last one here, again, like I just have to like bring this home that this is literally a data-driven guide, and it's really long form, but as I go through, they use their own tool to look at anchor text and do this big study on all this different anchor text. So again, it's showing like, if you want to know about these things, Ahrefs is the tool to use. And I think this is the slam dunk for Mastermind Jam, is just start treating your content like a demo. Look through the keywords and do a little bit of keyword and topical research like we talked about here. Use Ahrefs, like I'm not pulling punches, like use Ahrefs, do some keyword research. Look at the keywords that Kick-Ass Masterminds has and like online mastermind group. Cool. Let's look at this content. Let's maybe consider how we can make better content, have a better take and more voice and things like that. Awesome. DIY matching, important matching factors, your homies. Look at this. They're not showing you their thing either. Like, what even is this? No, do not ever show me notifications. Ew. Stop it. Sorry, personal preference of how the internet should work. My point is here, really, Mastermind Jam would see a lot more benefit out of their content. And like, let's be honest, like we could definitely let's be honest, we could definitely afford to build some links. Let's get some deep links in this piece, and let's get some links pointing at this content, and let's get it ranking for some stuff. And then when we're in here, let's really convert by making sure that these are mapped to a level of awareness, and that they then push people either into a deeper level of awareness or are ready to convert because we've shown them Mastermind Jam. I cannot see Mastermind Jam in any of these articles. And all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know. I'm supposed to apply for a thing I've never seen. These content, I believe, would be a lot stronger if they were demos. So I hope this has been extremely helpful. I hope that these Workshop Wednesdays are great. I'm going to continue doing these every single Wednesday for the next 5 months. So I hope they're helpful. Do me a favor, leave a comment below. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment below. What type of business do you want to see more of in Workshop Wednesday? Do you want to see more SaaS businesses? Do you want to see service businesses like copywriters and photographers? Affiliate website? Like, what type of website do you want to see me do more workshops on? Leave a comment below. And if you're listening on the podcast, love you. Just tweet me that at Brendan Hufford on Twitter or at the Brendan Hufford on Instagram, whichever you prefer. Let me know, what do you want to see more of on Workshop Wednesday? I've been Brendan Hufford. Don't forget to work hard, be nice to people, and don't get too lost trying to create something that matters.